Welcome back. What I'd like to do is touch on the Pro Biscuit. The Pro Biscuit was invented solely by listening to the contractors, the tradespeople and the industry, and especially DIY customers. What we found was the original biscuit that we've just touched on. It works fine, it's extremely strong, it's still 4 times stronger than any surface fixing, but it took time in labour and it had a decision to make about using a biscuit cutter. We don't want you to have to use a tool, but you now have a choice. You can still buy the original biscuit, but now we're going to offer you what we call the Pro Biscuit. The Pro Biscuit, the first thing I'll talk about will be the timber, and then I'll talk about the biscuit. The timber actually comes end matched. I'm not too sure how well you can see this, but the end of each piece of board at both ends is grooved to receive what I'll show you in a minute will be a biscuit for joining. That means you don't have to cut and join on joists. It's so important from a trade contractor's point of view that I don't have to have someone measuring and cutting every board. The board is also profiled. It's got a very unique design on the side of it. So it's end matched. It also has a groove. Now you'll notice it tapers up and tapers down. So when the biscuit, if you recall from the original biscuit story, what we'd have to do is to do it in 2 parts. Put the biscuit in, put the screw in, leave the screw up by 10 mil, then bring the board in, then go back and fasten. What we're now going to show you is the new biscuit. I'll do it in a larger drawing for you. The new biscuit actually comes in a wedge shape. It's got a wider foot on the bottom, so it's more stable. It actually comes up and has a rebate in the top. Now, like anything, if you're putting a wedge into a receiving opposite, they complement and will slide in rather than 2 flat wedges coming into each other. So now I can put the screw in, keep that 5 to 10 degree angle of screw fix. This board then comes in. I've just halved the installation time. I've also ensured that you have high quality timber, high quality fastening. This gap you have a choice now. You have a 3mm, and for in particular the fire rated areas of Australia and any fire rated areas, we have a brand new biscuit which gives you a 5mm gap. You have a 3mm biscuit or a 5mm biscuit. This determines the gap on the top. The reason the industry wants to ensure that this allows for more airflow, it allows for water to go through, it allows for small amber to fall through those gaps, but equally you could use the 5mm biscuit when you put onto metal joists, or if you're close to ground, I would highly recommend the 5mm biscuit because you want to stimulate airflow. The bigger the gap between the boards, the better the airflow, the less chance of effect on the underside of the timber decking. Moisture, over concrete. You must try and stimulate the airflow. Airflow through equals high performing timber. So just go through that again. We're going to have timber for you that is grooved both sides. It is end matched at both ends. You don't have to cut to fit on a joist. The biscuit is a different shape. The engagement into the board is easy. You can fasten the screw 100%. Remember the key thing, a panhead screw. A panhead screw equals maximum force. Maximum force equals maximum strength. The converse of that would be, if someone says that their fittings use a countersunk screw into a biscuit, please don't use it. It will just pull through the biscuit. It doesn't matter because they only use cheap material. That will keep driving all the way through and the head will end up down into the joist. And imagine if the wood is forcing upwards, there is no resistance. It's like putting it on a slippery slope. So we've done everything we possibly can by listening to the industry, by listening to the contractors. I've listened to an awful lot of people. We've actually now completely reinvented timber decking. You're going to have no nails and screws in the surface. You're going to end up with this beautiful, beautiful timber. The biscuit simply fits in the side. You screw fix down. You bring the next board in and repeat the process. We've halved the time. we've probably taken 30% of the labour out because you don't have to biscuit cut. You don't have to cut and measure to fit on a joist. The biscuits and screws are the same price as the original. Yes, there's a premium cost to prepare this timber for you. Please understand that this timber is high quality. This is as good as internal flooring, if not better. The moisture content is controlled. We take our timber from log right through a process that gives you the best performing timber. We also have very good guidelines. Please go to our data sheets. It's going to give you great information about how to build close to ground. What about the gaps? What about fire rating? What about specifications for local councils? We're really enthusiastic about trying to provide this information for you so you can make a decision, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you so much for taking the time to look. Bye-bye.